All right, my people on Blog Talk Radio, iTunes, and Stitcher. We are there. All right. Let's make sure we're good on Facebook. Are we good on Facebook? No, we not, Tim. You missed a step on Facebook. R-E. I'm going to do that. Let's see if I can do this live. Save. Can we do that live? Let's see if we can do that live. Let's see if that works on Facebook. Son of a. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. What it do? What it do? Go live on Facebook. Man, I hope my calls are working. All right. We should be working here. Double Dipping Tim. Hey, what's up, everybody? And we're back. And we're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on Periscope. And I really hope that this call situation's working, you know? But I'm going to stay real quick. You know what? Let's leave. People are calling in. Stay. Why does it say it doesn't have a connection? I was just there. Let me see something. New callers are coming into my queue. New callers are coming into my queue. Tim Black. Tim Black. Tim Black. Yes, I am. True. Funny. Tim Black. I am TimBlack.com. Tim Black.
Customer service, press 3.
Since it appears you're calling back into a live show,
right.
We are reconnecting you now.
You hear that? It gives me drama every time. All right. Hey, guys, how you doing? Welcome to the Tim Black at Night Show. This is Friday. Friday is Freedom Friday. That means you can call up. The phone number is already on the screen, 319-527-6212. It seems to be working. I got my people in queue already here. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate y'all. You know how we do. I see I got my YouTube people in the house. Jilly Love, Sandra Lee. Yeah. You know, man. Oh, man, the comment sections have been on fire. On fire. Well, like we do. Now, this is Friday, man, and this is the first of our new year, so let's go ahead and do what we do. We know we start Fridays with a monologue, right? So Tim Black, he goes up there, he does his thing. I would like to welcome you all to the Tim Black Comedy Theater. Let's do that. Tim Black. Tim Black. Tim Black. Yes, I am. True. Funny. Tim Black. I am TimBlack.com. Tim Black. Yeah. Hey, people, how y'all doing? What's going on? How y'all feeling? Happy New Year, people. Happy New Year to all. To everyone. Everybody. Everyone. I got old notes. What does it say? Can I have a chance? Can I dance? Man, I thought Steve Bannon was a good friend of Donald Trump. I thought he was a friend of Donald Trump. What happened? Steve Bannon, I thought you and Trump were buddies. Thought you were pals. Nah, apparently not. Apparently, what I consider friends is I got a warped idea of friendship. This is the worst example of friendship I've ever seen. A friendship where a guy throws you under the bus and does interviews and makes you look horrible. It's not a friend. You guys maybe remember Steve Bannon. He was the guy who gave Trump the great advice not to condemn the skinheads and the neo-Nazis and the white supremacists in Charlottesville. That was the guy. He told Trump, "Hey man, we'll do good with these white nationalists. They'll come out and vote. Skinheads got votes. We need to get those votes too, Trumpy." That was his friend. The friendly Steve Bannon. You know, I love the way everyone's acting like Steve Bannon is the most horrible thing on earth now. Yeah, they're acting like Steve Bannon, Well, actually, no, they're not. They're not acting like he's horrible. They're acting like he's a truth teller now. That's what it is. They act like he's a truth teller now because, well, Lord behold, it fits their agenda. Yeah, a couple months ago they hated him. Now he's the greatest guy. Because now he can be useful in making Trump look bad. This is great. You know, Steve Bannon is not a friend of Trump. He was a friend. Let me look at this right. Look, we've all had friends like Steve Bannon. Maybe not the gnomish figure that he is. A powdered donut with feet. No, maybe you haven't had that type of friend aesthetically. But you had a friend who wasn't a friend. You know, everyone's had this guy. You know, like that guy who shows up to help you move. You got to move all your shit to a new place. No one else showed up. He shows up. Not only does he show up, he rents a truck for you. Yeah, he rents a truck for you. It's got like dollies and shit. He brings 3 people that you never knew. 3 of his friends, you never met them. He brings them to help carry all your heavy ass furniture. All your other friends didn't show. This is the guy that shows up. Helping you move all your stuff. What a guy. What a great guy. That's Steve Bannon. Because that's what Steve Bannon did, you know. He got all his friends, all the alt-right, to show up for Donald Trump and help move Trump into the White House. Get it? That's Steve Bannon. The only problem is he tries to sleep with your girl after a couple of beers. Yeah, after a couple of beers, you catch him in the kitchen making moves on your girl like, yeah, baby, Don ain't treating you right, Melania, so, I mean, I'm not saying I would make a move on you. I'm just saying, that I'm here for you if you ever need a shoulder to cry on. You walk in like, what the hell you doing, man? Why are you hitting on my girl? Thought you was my friend. Yeah. You're mad, but how mad could you be? He just helped you move all your stuff. But it's the principle of the thing. This guy tried to hit on your woman. So basically what Steve Bannon is doing is he's being a friend, but he's not really a friend. But he's a friend laying in wait. He's an enemy. He's a frenemy. He's a wolf in sheep's clothing. That's what he is. And Trump is realizing that now. Now Trump can't stand this guy. And all the people that supported Steve Bannon are backing away. Like he just let one go. He just farted. He showed up, his zipper was down. It's like, oh God, look at this. God didn't realize he smells like dog shit. Everyone is running from Steve Bannon now. And there's a good reason for it. You know, when Scaramucci said that Steve Bannon wanted to pleasure himself in the White House, that was his whole purpose of being there, people said, oh, Scaramucci, son of a bitch. You're every stereotype for Italian Americans, all put into one. You're loud, you got greasy hair, and you like Goodfellas. You sound like a character off the Goodfellas, but Scaramucci had a point. And now everybody's going, Scaramucci, he's a truth teller. He's a truth teller. Oh, Scaramucci's right. Oh, Scaramucci's right. I mean, if you can't see how the media spins stuff and how whatever suits the agenda is what they will promote, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, man. Maybe you're just in over your head with this whole thinking thing. I mean, I think it's clear as day what's happening. I think it's obvious. I mean, it did the same thing with George W. Bush. You know, they hated him. Oh, we hated Bush. And they hate us for our freedom. They hate us for our freedom. But as soon as it became convenient, he said a couple of things that suited the liberal agenda. Then all of a sudden, George Bush became the guy everybody loved. Everybody loved him. Oh, come here, little George. Come here, George. Come hang out with us. It's what happens. There is no place safe. There's nothing there's no sanctity. Everything is flimsy. Everything can be moved around the chessboard to suit the agenda of the state. So I'm watching the Steve Bannon thing unfurl. It's one of my new words, unfurl. And I'm glad to see it, frankly. You know, the things that were written in that book, they were horrible. Oh, there's some tough stuff in that book, man. I haven't read the book. I've only read the excerpts, but it is very entertaining. They say that Donald Trump, every night he has to have a cheeseburger. Every night he has a cheeseburger at 6:30 p.m. Ballin'. Gotta have a cheeseburger. In fact, he loves McDonald's because he knows the food can't be poisoned. Yeah, he's afraid someone will poison him. Well, he's never eaten at the McDonald's around my way. They'll find a way to poison your ass at that McDonald's. I mean, if the only thing protecting the leader of the free world is fast food restaurants, like, come on, man. I saw a movie with Denzel Washington in it. I forget which role it was. They tried to poison him. He made the guy eat the food before him. He knew it was up. He knew it was up. I mean, Trump ain't got that guy. He ain't got a low-level guy to eat his food for him. Come on, man. It's president. I think Trump just likes cheeseburgers. Other big revelations inside of this book, The Fire and the Fury. Donald Trump uses Just for Men on his head. Oh, God. Got to go out and get that book. Just in. So does Tim Black. He uses Just for Men. With that, I don't know, who's that guy? The Richard Roundtree on the cover of that shit. That box of Just for Men. I use it just on my beard because it's just no hair on my head. That's not a secret. Tell me who made that toupee Trump got on his head. That's the secret. That's what we want to know. Why is his hand so small and his lie so big? Other things are in the book of the Fury, the Fire and Fury of Donald Trump. They said Donald Trump never wanted to be president. They said that he was very shocked. In fact, when he won, Melania started crying. And Trump looked like he just seen a ghost. Or he just saw Jeff Sessions naked. One of those things scared the shit out of Trump. Trump was not looking forward to being president. He said, oh my God, I didn't mean to win this shit. I just wanted to build a media company. I want to start my own channel. And now I got to sit at a desk and play golf 40% of the time when I'm supposed to be doing my job. God, I can't do this. I can't do it. How am I supposed to survive? Man, I didn't need a book to tell me that Donald Trump didn't want to be president. I didn't need a book to tell me that. I could tell he didn't want to be president. I could tell he still don't want to be president. That's why he tweets all the time, man. Tweeting is regular people shit. It's not presidential shit. Come on, man. Who out there thinks tweeting is regular is presidential shit? Trump want to be one of us, but he's too rich. Too rich to be one of us. You know, I was listening to Dave Chappelle's Netflix special, and it had me laughing because he said that the poor white people voted for Trump. They were confused. They thought that Trump was going to fight for him, and that in actuality, Trump is fighting for rich people like Dave Chappelle. And that's the truth, man. And I don't know what else to tell you. It's 2018. If you don't know that it's us against them, that's all of us. Forget the fact there's no one else in this room right now but me, but all of us. Not a lot of 1%ers watch Tim Black. So all of us against all of them. When are we going to figure that out? Don't matter where you live, dumbass. Matter if you like, damn, if you like Game of Thrones or if you like sitting on the throne, on the porch. It don't matter, man. It's us against them. But people don't listen. They get mad. They get mad when you try to tell them the truth. Some of these people, truth is like kryptonite. Oh, no! Truth! There you go. Telling me stuff again. It's like, hey, I got this book here. It's got facts in it. You mean, what kind of facts? I love to see facts. Well, it's going to be facts that contradict some of the dumb bullshit you believe to be true. Really? Let me take a look at that. Pow! That's how they try to do, man. They try to shoot the messenger. It's all a clusterfuck, man. I don't know what else to say. You know, I was covered this earlier today. I don't know how to tell you this, man, but Chicken George from the Roots, he been sexually molesting women, man. Yeah, like, who is Chicken George from Roots? It's Ben Vereen, man. Ben Vereen, 69 years old. He does a lot of Broadway work, right? He's a Broadway actor. And he was doing a reenactment. They're doing a new show of the thing called Hair. It's great. It's a hit show. So he directs a cast. He's got a cast of all these people playing in this new rendition of The Hair. Hairspray or something. I don't know. And turns out that Ben Vereen was like, degrading women on the set, degrading their bodies, and then one point he got totally naked, stark naked. 70-year-old guy took off all his clothes and said it was a character practice, a character presentation or some shit. I mean, ain't no character presentation. That's just a naked-ass 70-year-old man looking like a pygmy or something. Like a tall pygmy. Like a tall Twizzler. Come on, man. Put your clothes on. Get your ass out. What is going on, man? Everybody. There was some young women who fell for this, man. They went to this man's house alone, for private rehearsals. I tell you, man, this Me Too movement, the people that are getting swept up in it, look, at some point, see, I know it's a lot of people out there laughing. You're laughing at Ben Vereen. You go, they caught Ben Vereen. Oh, they got Louis C.K. Oh, they got Charlie Rose. Yeah, but wait till they start getting people like you. That's what's next. Regular people. Remember that time you changed that lady's tire? Remember that? You knew she was a single mom. You changed the tire for her or something. She got broke down. You gave her your number and said, hey, if you ever had any problems around your house, ever need some help, just call me. That's sexual harassment, man. That's right. That's sexual harassment. You are using your ability to reach up on the top shelf and screw in light bulbs and shit and put shingles on roofs, using that as a mechanism to get the change purse. That's right. It ain't gonna be so funny when somebody put an expose out on your ass. Won't be funny then. Be billboards all over the neighborhood. Joey is a sexual predator. Man, I work on cars. I just fixed the car. Wouldn't know if she wanted to go out for a bite to eat. Using your power, your ability to fix cars. And that's what I'm saying, man. The culture of America is so screwed up, man. We've been using sex to sell everything from toilet tissue to grapes in this motherfucker. Now, all of a sudden, you got a conscience. Come on, man. I ain't buying it. I'm not saying at all that we shouldn't respect people. And I'm not saying it's right. But people have been using some form of power, some form of the whole purpose. Look, it changes everything. Look, listen to what I'm saying. A lot of guys do a lot of things in life to impress women. You know, think about it the other way. A lot of guys do a lot of things in life to impress women. I know in my community, in the black community, that's the whole thing about shoes. Like right now, you can't see what kind of shoes I got on because they're not nice enough. Look, in the black community, shoes matter. You using your ability to buy some new J's to impress women, to get women. It's to show opulence, to show that you got money. I'm telling you, what I'm saying is the whole world is built on this. At least the country. I've never been outside the United States. The United States is built on guys trying to impress women so they can have sex. And then I'm disgusted by the lying and the cowards who are afraid to say it. They're afraid. Oh no, the feminazis are coming to get me. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying it is. Look, so until we can have honest conversations about all this shit we need to take, if our culture on sex and dating and all this stuff, if our culture on sex was on the chalkboard, it was all written down, we need to come in and erase all that shit. Just erase it. Erase it. Shit, we might need to light a match and burn it down and build another one. That's how ingrained it all is. But people won't be honest. They won't tell the truth. Truth is scary, man. Truth is scary. The truth is, the reason why your mama is with your father is that he had a nice car, nigga. That's it. He ain't write poetry. He didn't cure any diseases. He didn't invent anything. He just had a nice car. That's what got the ball rolling. And until we admit that, we'll never be able to admit the truth. That it's in all of us. It's in all of us. Women too. Use what you got to get what you want. Remember that shit? Use what you got to get what you want. What about that Beyonce? What about what Kanye did it? Didn't he do it? Gold Digger? What do you think Gold Digger was about? I'm in trouble, but I'm telling you the truth. See, people don't want to hear the truth. No. They want you to be politically correct. You stand this way and say this bullshit, vacuous nonsense. It fits the agenda shit. Who says what the agenda is? Maybe there should be an agenda where we keep it real. Maybe. You know, they say Ellen almost got her ass caught up in the Me Too movement, but not in a good way. There was a picture of Ellen with Katy Perry. You seen this? Have you seen this? Have you seen this picture? Ellen, well, Katy Perry standing there. She's got a top on that exposes her breast. And Ellen looked like, she looked like a crackhead who's looking at some crack like, That's what she's doing. It is as bad, nearly as bad, as Al Franken. And no one's asked her to resign. No one said chill out for a week. No one said stop your stupid dancing. None of it. And you don't give me that it's woman on woman. Nah. Ellen is a lesbian. That's just like Al Franken. That's just, now what if there was a picture of Barack Obama going? It'd be all over. Be all over. Well, any guy. I just picked him. My Obama supporters. Don't you talk about Obama. Don't you talk about him. What did he get you? He gave me the belief that I could be president. You hate school, motherfucker. You ain't gonna be president. You know that was true. Your mama wanted you to be president. You wanted to smoke weed all the time. Barack Obama becoming president ain't going to increase your ability, your ability or your desire to crack open books, mofo. Speaking of weed, Jeff Sessions, this Keebler meth head looking this Granny from Beverly Hillbillies, Keebler elf, this rodent with feet. This guy's trying to turn back the page on weed legalization. And I, for one, am not going to stand for it. I'm not going to stand for it. You got this bastard on tape saying, well, yeah, I realize that he admits that weed is nowhere near as dangerous as crack or coke or meth or opiates, any of that. But he still wants to roll back all the progress that was made under Obama. In fact, what people need to be saying about Obama is at least he helped the cannabis legalization movement. Yeah. Because now Jeff Sessions wants that all back, man. Jeff Sessions' job, black people were saying Trump going to bring back slavery. Well, he going to use Jeff Sessions to do it. That's what that is. If people were looking for a reason to hate Trump, they need to look no further than that little rodent motherfucker, Jeff Sessions. He's horrible, man. Horrible. He has no redeeming qualities. Well, I think Americans need to get some clarity on why I'm short and I'm a leprechaun who has no gifts. Who hires a leprechaun with no gifts? Some bitch. Can't stand Jeff Sessions. But man, they're trying to roll back everything, man. All the advancements. Everything. Oh, yeah, North Korea and South Korea are talking now. You hear that? North Korea and South Korea are talking. Yeah, I read the comments. I saw it too. You know, that whole thing with Twitter and Trump, with the button thing, how do you get 2 days news cycle out of that bullshit? How? My button's bigger than your button. Pushing buttons. I got a bigger button than you do. They got 2 days news cycle out of this shit. Meanwhile, we done cut off aid to Pakistan. Oh, you know the shit that's been going on. Jeff Sessions rolling back weed laws. It can be legal statewide, but just telling the feds to go in and lock you up anyway. And meanwhile, all people talking about is the button. It's the button. It's the button. Listen, man, Kim Jong-un crazy too. Stop acting like Kim Jong-un is stable. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is how it started. They were talking about Steve Bannon. They hated Steve Bannon so they could use Steve Bannon. Democrats hate Kim Jong-un, but they'll use him against Trump like they like the mofo because they hate Trump more. My thing is we got to be smart enough and realize when we're being played, when we're being lied to. So back to Steve Bannon. He's the same guy who supported Trump's tepid language about the neo-Nazis. And now that Steve Bannon is pretty much persona non grata, no one wants him around. He lost his supporters, financial backers, the Mercers. They're out of there. He's about to lose his entire community, everyone who supported him, all of the Breitbarts, all of the alt-writers. then the Tiki Torch guys, all these guys leaving them. And people are saying, Tim, at least Steve Bannon told the truth. And I'm like, okay, if you think he told the truth, that's fine. Think that. Think it. I tend to believe that it's somewhere in the middle, no matter how you look at it. And when I try to analyze it, and I've tried to analyze it, deduce it all the way down, who's right? Is Trump right or is Steve Bannon right? Is Trump saying, hey, I trusted you. I hired you. I gave you a job. I put you on the team, and this is how you be paying me. And Steve Bannon's like, you're going off message. You're not doing what you said you were going to do for the people. And I got to tell the truth about that. And I just looked at both sides of that, and I said, well, there was violence on both sides. I don't know who's wrong. It's violence on both sides. Two bigots going after each other. I don't got to choose. They're both wrong. So fuck you, Steve Bannon, and fuck you, Donald Trump. I feel the same way you felt in Charlottesville. Both of y'all wrong. You even. I didn't believe that shit, but I believe it applies in this case. All right, guys, thank you very much for tuning in to Freedom Friday. You know what time it is. It's where you call up and you get to hold the mic, get to rock the mic, tell people what's on your mind. There's a lot of stories. Probably didn't get to them all. Phone number 319-527-6212. Let's do the show.
Tim Black. Yes, I am. True.
Yeah. All right. Make sure the settings are correct. All right, guys, we got phone callers in the queue already. They're ready to get in and tell their side of the story. Grab a piece of paper here, because what we like to do, is I like to take calls in the order in which they were received. And you best believe. All right. Get this going. Get it going, Tim Black. We've been on hold for a while. All right, I got my first caller. It's from area code 405. 405, you're live. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello, Mr. Black.
Hey, how you doing?
Welcome to the new. This is Cosmo Vinegar from Stillwater, Oklahoma.
My friend, talk to me. What's on your mind?
Oh, not a whole lot. I actually meant to call you before the New Year started, but I was stuck in Canada, and while phone reception, when you don't have an international plan, is kind of wank. But I'm not entirely sure what I was going to talk about, because originally my plan was just to talk about how much I hated episode 8, but I already blew all that on the After Hours program. For most of our crossover viewers from that. I have to say, though, putting that aside, I have found that the newest developments in with Steve Bannon to be quite the, well, not exactly what I was expecting to wake up to today. I mean, how are you supposed to process that to begin with, even? Like, who thought in their right mind that they'd be at the point in the day where, yeah, we're going to be discussing how much Steve Bannon sucks, or, like, for the ethics of whether or not he's a good guy or not, which should be a pretty obvious no. Like, yeah, it's clearly obvious that Steve Bannon is using this to his own advantage in order to push his own objectives forward. Now, the real question, though, I suppose that everybody wants to ask is Steve Bannon somebody worth listening to for the duration of that? I'm of mixed opinions about that, honestly. And here's my thoughts. On the one hand, Steve Bannon was at the highest echelon of decision making for the Trump administration. At the very minimum, his position in the administration alone merits a certain degree of legitimacy to his critique of the Trump administration and to his complaints with the administration as a whole. I concede that. I can concede that in my own head. However, all that being said, we're still talking about that Steve Bannon himself is something of an is by his own nature something of an untrustworthy gat, who's more than likely using this as a means to push his own political objectives forward. And I think most of us are relatively mature enough to admit that those objectives probably are not anything that is going to be in our favor anytime soon, if at all. So I don't know. I don't exactly know how to feel about him. On the one hand,
all right.
Yeah, fuck. How would you read something like that? Now, I don't have as much street smarts as I think you probably have at this point. I'm only 23 years old. There's only so much life experience I have as untrustworthy gets.
Well, let's do this. Let's leave that conversation, leave that thought out there, and see if somebody else can comment on to what you're saying and get their opinions on. I could barely hear that caller, guys, so I've thrown in an earpiece. Hopefully I can hear callers a little bit better as we go forward. Let's go to 864. 864, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Good evening. I'm Spencer Carter. I'm from Greenwood, South Carolina. It's nice to be on the Tim Black at Night Freedom Friday show again.
Hey, what's up, Spencer? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right. Well, I enjoyed my holiday season. I got the 1804 movie, The Hidden History of Haiti, with Tariq Nasheed on DVD. And, of course, I want to talk about the Logan Paul situation. Logan Paul is a disgrace to YouTube. You know, the controversial video he posted where the actual dead body, I don't want to see that video. Logan Paul should have been banned from YouTube, and Susan Wojcicki lacked common sense. Of course, CEO of YouTube. Susan Wojcicki should be called Stupidity Wojcicki. Speaking of my petition to get Susan Wojcicki fired from YouTube, it had reached almost 20,000 subscribers. I'm at 20,000 signatures, excuse me. And I heard there was a snow in Charleston, South Carolina, which is very rare. And what's your thoughts about the Tariq Nasheed and Dr. Umar Johnson feud?
You know what, brother? I meant to do a video on that. Man, there's so much to it. What do you think about it?
I don't want to take sides, but in the words of Mr. Superboy223, a fellow YouTuber out of Chicago, Illinois, control your dollar, know your history. Of course, the Tariq Nasheed and Dr. Umar Johnson beef reminds me of the True Freeman versus Tommy Sotomayor beef. Another beef. Have you ever heard of True Freeman?
No, I never heard of him. I heard of Tommy, though.
True Freeman is a YouTuber from Indianapolis, Indiana. Of course, had you heard of this dude named Vic Damone out of Detroit, Michigan, a.k.a. Victor Mann? True Freeman don't like Vic Damone or Tommy Sotomayor. You know, I know Tommy Sotomayor's real name is Thomas Jerome Harris. I know he's a controversial YouTuber.
Okay.
And one more thing. I promote my new song, Ode to YouTube, Susan Wojcicki diss track. It's on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Doughboy1985, like the Pillsbury Doughboy, all in lowercase letters. I wrote it myself. I also wrote songs as well. Well, thank you, and enjoy the first week of 2018. God bless.
You got it, Spencer. Thank you, man. Yeah, man. I replaced my speakers. They don't do the hum, but I tell you, they're not as good, man. They're not as good as the previous speakers I had on my desk when I hear callers. But I was able to hear you a little bit better than my first call. I'm going to go to the next call, though. We're going to give it all we got. 408, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Tim, what's up? It's No More Donations. How
No
you
more
doing?
donations in the house. What's up, my brother?
Nothing much. Hey, I want to start with something probably a little heavy, but excuse me. Yeah, I want to start with something a little bit heavy and kind of lighten it up a little bit. I want to talk a little bit about classism versus racism. I've heard a lot of people say that there's only classism. There's not race. It's not race and class. It's just class. I disagree with that. I think if you ask anybody who's experienced racism, people of color, they'll tell you, when they've had no money, they've experienced racism. When they've had some money, they've experienced it, and when they've had money, they've experienced it. And I can attest to that myself. So I think a lot of times people judge it kind of from their own situation. So it's not, I'm not blaming people for having that thought, but I think people need to empathize more. Like, you need to empathize with people who are different from you, and just try to see that it's not just classism. I think Bernie was kind of on the classism. Actually, I don't want to put words into his mouth, but I want to say he focused a bit too much on classism, kind of until it was too late towards the end of the campaign. But to his credit, he came around. So I just want to say that if you think there's only classism, you need to speak to some people of color, and they'll set you straight. So that's kind of all I want to say on that. I kind of want to lighten up and say, I hope you had a restful holiday season. I had one myself, and I was able to kind of repair a bad relationship I had with one of my relatives, and and I was able to mend that, and it made the difference. I spent a whole year kind of, not talking to this person, and it kind of ate at me a bit over this whole year. And I found out it kind of ate at him too. So, but the best thing is, like, we were able to mend that and kind of go on. And I just want to let everybody know, if you have, well, let me just say this. There are some family relationships that cannot be mended. I just want to state that, But if you can mend some relationships that are in need of mending, try to do it as soon as you can, because you never know. Right. Tomorrow is promised to nobody. So that's kind of all I want to say. That. Last but not least, I just got my tickets for the January 28th show in Portland with you and Lee Camp. I wasn't able to get the Saturday 27th show because it was sold out, and I didn't get my goddamn act together until now. But I will see you on Sunday, January 28th. So peace to you, and Happy New Year.
My brother, I appreciate you. No more donations. And I appreciate your point as well. Man, I'm trying to tell you that there is a growing number of people who feel like class is the only issue we have in America. There are some detached people, man. It's one thing, like, and I'm not just talking like this is not just a white issue. I've seen this from non-whites who are not African-American, black, who've come from other countries, who look black, do the same thing. I've seen this from black people who come from a different station in life. Who I don't know where they look. I disagree with the idea that there is no such thing as racism and that classism is the fight. I believe that both are a fight. Classism is an issue, and there are things that affect poor people or moderately income people, that may not affect rich people. That's true, absolutely. But there are things that affect black people up and down the economic stratosphere. And there's really not that much up and down economic stratosphere. When, listen, man, most of the most black people in America are low income. Most of us. All right. So if that's the case, you can call it whatever you want to call it. The reality is that just the fact that they are poor does not negate the fact that they are black. You know, like, so I was on a panel, man. I would just say this. Let me say this. I don't know how clear I'm being. Dude, if people think that race doesn't have anything to do with it, I worked at Fortune 100 companies, and you call that anecdotal if you want. I know what it's like to be the only black person in the room. I know what it's like to be, and what the treatment was. And I've worked with some good people at times, notable people who I don't even want to out right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know how I was treated in those situations. And I tell you, the most resistance that I, have like faced just in my last 4 or 5 years of doing commentary, it hadn't been from, it's been from white folks. Some of the people call themselves progressive. And they've done a lot of things that I think were hinged with racism. Was part and parcel, part of it was race. Part of it was race that I don't think they would have done otherwise if I was another color. And it had anything to do with class. They don't know what kind of car I drive. They don't know where I live. They did it because of race, man. So the internet's a perfect example. How much racism do you see on the internet? Those people don't know each other's class. Read my comment section. Why do I have a filter on certain words? Like nigga on my YouTube comment if it has something to do with class when you don't know what class I am. See what I'm saying? Like these things are unavoidable. Look, and to say, and I had somebody say publicly, we don't need diversity to fight this class. And no one dragged him. I think that person should have been dragged in the court of the public opinion court. But anyway, I'm going to go on, man. Thank you. No more donations. I believe both are an issue. I think that we can fight for things. I think both issues need to be addressed. Class has always been an issue in this country. It's been an issue since the founding of this country. In fact, I think that's why it was founded, because poor-ass people wanted to leave England. So class is always going to be an issue. We got an oligarchy, not a democracy. But then to act like the civil rights movement, what do you think, man? Like the civil rights movement, Jim Crow, the black codes? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I was just reading a statistic that black people are 3.5 times more likely to be caught possessing weed, even though white people and black people have weed at about the same amount. But then somebody say it's class. Nah, man. His poor white people not getting popped for weed, dude. Anyway, I'm going to keep going. 650, I hope you're still there. You're still there. Hey, 650, you're live. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Tim Black, it's Dr. Bruce. How you doing?
Dr. Bruce is in his house. How you doing, man?
Happy New Year. I wanted to say real quick to you that, and I know there was discussion already about the Donna Brazile interview, but I don't remember anybody pointing out that it's not just that you had to be a true journalist, which you were. You asked tough questions in a polite, inviting way. That's what a true journalist does. But also, it's important to do that and keep it right and not get outrageous, not make her hang up on you, because that'll stop the next interview from happening.
Dr. Bruce, they don't care.
Person.
Do you know what, Bruce? I appreciate you. I just want to say I appreciate you for acknowledging that, but they don't care, man. They do not care if my platform grows or if and in fact they think it's negative that you want your platform to grow. They think that's negative, Bruce. It's wrong for you to want to do better. It's wrong to build a business. It's wrong.
Well, that's just wrong of them, and we can ignore that. Just go with the positive karma.
Yes, sir.
I want to talk about marijuana on a medical tip. If that's okay, I'm going to use my 5 minutes up to the fullest.
Do tell.
But before I do that, I want to talk about a guy named Harry Anslinger. You guys can go to Wikipedia, check him out. He was the first commissioner of the U.S. Treasury Department for the Federal Bureau of Narcotics. I think he was right under Hoover, but I'm not positive about that, but it's, like I said, go to Wikipedia, check him out. But he was the one who first made marijuana illegal, okay? And it wasn't for medical reasons. And let me just read something real quick. This is what he said. I'm quoting him. There are 100,000 total marijuana smokers in the U.S., and most are Negroes, Hispanics, Filipinos, and entertainers. Their satanic music, jazz, and swing result from marijuana use. This marijuana causes white women to seek sexual relations with Negroes, entertainers, and others. Reefer makes darkies think they're as good as white men. Okay? That's the guy who made marijuana illegal. Harry Anslinger, Anslinger, Anslinger. Check him out.
Damn.
Am I still on, or have I been cut yet?
No, man, that's great news, especially if you what is the word for it? If you juxtapose it to the earlier caller who was talking about people talking about class as if racism doesn't exist. It's like perfect timing. But yeah.
Absolutely. And it all goes together, sadly, because now we know that marijuana has so many medicinal uses, it's not even funny. There's an article that from one of those hippie journals called the Business Insider, and the title of it is 23 Health Benefits of Marijuana. This is from like 2014, okay? I have it in my Rolodex because I have to talk to patients and sometimes try to convince them that they might consider medical marijuana. Let me read through, and then I know my 5 minutes is up. Let me read through some of the things that have been pointed out in this article and other articles. Marijuana, first of all, glaucoma. It's known to reduce the pressure, and some doctors will say it's only for a short period of 4 hours, and you can't be high every 4 hours, so we want you to use the regular pharmaceutical drug instead. But here's another thing. Marijuana adds a protective element beyond the actual reduction of the eye pressure, which is what causes glaucoma. So it reduces the damage of the higher pressures, even when the higher pressure returns. So glaucoma is beneficial for glaucoma. Marijuana is beneficial for our glaucoma. It also reduces the carcinogenic effects of tobacco. You actually get an increase of your functional lung capacity for people who've been exposed to tobacco and the deleterious effects, if you're doing marijuana. It also reduces seizures. Both severity and frequency of seizures are reduced with marijuana. Reduces cancers. Reduces something called an ID1, which is something that's required for cancers to be able to grow and spread. It reduces ID1 and the ability of the cancer to metastasize, meaning the ability of the cancer to go to other parts of the body. So basically, marijuana improves the cancer situation. It increases effectiveness of hepatitis C. That's just something they've discovered. They don't know why. Reduces symptoms clinically of inflammatory bowel disease and other bowel disorders such as Crohn's disease, documented by the National Institute of Health. Improves metabolism of sugars, which is why marijuana users are often thinner, even though they might be eating with the munchies and all of that, because it improves blood sugar levels and insulin production if you're a marijuana user and you're exposed to sugar. It improves symptoms of Parkinson's, and it also reduces the effects of Alzheimer's. So all these things that marijuana does that we know of, and there are more things coming every day with research, which has been reduced because it's an illegal class 1 substance. It's a substance that we're not allowed to even experiment with in this country. So you're absolutely right to rave about and rant and rave about the fact that Sessions is reversing this marijuana legalization. We need it to be legal so we can study it, so we can have the benefits of marijuana. I think I'm done, I guess.
Wow, you killed it. You killed it, Dr. Bruce. I appreciate you calling in with that information, my brother. And Happy New Year to you, Dr.
Thank you,
Bruce.
Tim, for everything you do.
Man, thank you, brother, for acknowledging it. I appreciate it, man. That's the best gift you can give, man. I tell you, I tell you, and you know the thing is, there's such a stigma on it that still exists, and certain folks feel it's just a horrible thing, and it. But I mean, I think alcohol is a horrible thing. I really do, and just because it's legal doesn't make it right. A lot of things have been legal in this country that were bad for us. I think there was Dick Gregory that said slavery was legal. What's that mean? What about right? What about moral? Right? So, we know how many deaths occur every year due to alcohol. It's not people say there's redeeming qualities in like wine. Somebody said, Bacardi 151. Ripple. I don't know. A 40 ounce never helped anybody with anything. It never helped. A 40 ounce of malt liquor never cured anything. All right, I'm gonna go to the next call. Thank you, Dr. Bruce, for calling in, man. I got some great callers, man. I appreciate you guys. 718. He's still in the house.
Hey, Tim, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, how you doing, my friend? What's up?
How's your holidays and all that?
Oh, it's good, man. How about you?
So, I'm good too, buddy. So, what's on my mind is I'm going to bring this up. The liberal, feminist lawyer who defends sexually harassed women, known as Lisa Bloom, along with her mother, Gloria Allard. I know that Lisa Bloom was caught, laundering money and also donating something from the Clinton super PAC to the accusers of Donald John Trump to go after him since the election. And it's also saying that she possibly broke financial laws or something like that with her, and not just with that she's the one who did it. And it also goes with Clinton's watchdog known as David Brock, the guy from Media Matters. That dude, he's really a disease. And, I really wish he never existed, because the dude is not just a Clinton loyalist, but also things that's also bad about him too. And also it's just not just these two that are just bad, but also the fact that you also have the American billionaire known as George Soros, who has also been caught paying three women to go into Megyn Kelly's show to go after Trump and all that. But with the sexual harassment thing, and man, the neoliberals, I'll tell you, they're just playing dirty and all that shit, if you know what I mean. And also the fact that I will say this is I don't care how successful Lisa Bloom was since she took down Bill O'Reilly. She's still a fake liberal feminist, what she truly is, just like her mother is. And also it's not just the fact that I'm sick of the neoliberals, even though Young Turks are just worse too. The worst neoliberals that are MSNBC and other liberal medias are David Pakman. God, that guy makes me sick. Along with that guy from Ring of Fire, he's just 10 times worse people to be neoliberals, and also stuck in the cock of the corporate media and all that shit, if you know what I mean. Because I watch Hard Bastards videos. He does criticize them a lot and just does cover-ups what these people are in the first place, if you know what I mean. And also, I'm going to make one last thing before I cut this into this conversation. I know you hate Fox News, but do you ever think of being in Tucker Carlson's show, interviewing him? The reason is I'm saying that because he did crusade against neoliberals like that Adam Schiff. That guy's so terrible. Along with Rob Reiner, another terrible example, and also neoconservatives like Ralph Peters. That guy's even worse. And also along with Max Boot, who he just humiliated in his show. And that guy does look like a dangerous warmonger, that Max Boot. And also he does let in people into the show like Oliver Stone, Max Blumenthal, even Jill Stein into his show to just talk moderate. And also had Glenn Greenwald into a show that was about that whole Russia BS thing, which was already debunked. I don't know if it is or not, but we'll see how it goes. What's your take on this one?
Wow, man, you asked a lot, man. I don't really know, man. My take on would I go on Tucker Carlson or would I interview Tucker Carlson? Is that the question?
Yeah, it's just that I'm just saying that because he does seem pretty genuine, because he was for the that war in Iraq, but now he realizes that it was a hoax, and also doesn't believe like Assad should go. I mean, if that case, it would be like a negotiating way instead of like a proxy war in that country, even though it's already war torn in it, and also. Yeah, even though he's like a pretty moderate kind of guy or whatever. That's the only thing what I like about Tucker Carlson, because he just debates like neoliberals and neoconservatives, even though he was pretty moderate, genuine guy. That's what I just say about him, if you know what I mean.
Well, man, I appreciate you calling up. I'd have to think about it, man. Give it up for my caller, man. See, it's great. It's great having callers call in and challenge you and come up with different ideas, different questions. I'll say this. Like Tucker Carlson, if he brings you on the show, he'll have an agenda. Like his agenda is to, like you just stated, to go after neoliberals, to go after Democrats or whatever. The gooey middle Democrats, right? I typically like I'll go on pretty much any platform. I've been on a lot of platforms. I went on Jesse Lee Peterson's show recently. I do not agree with Jesse Lee Peterson. I went on his show because he invited me on his show, and I wanted to reach his audience, frankly. I didn't spend any time, like, entertaining. Like, I pushed back on things I disagree with, other things I agreed with, or laughed at, I should say. I don't know if he said anything I agreed with. It was more like I just laughed at him and kind of didn't let him get under my skin, So, yeah, I would go on Tucker Carlson. I would go on Don Lemon. I would go on Rachel Maddow. They're not going to invite me. Maybe Tucker Carlson will. But see, one thing I'll say about myself that I realized just by listening to your call is that I typically don't have an agenda when I bring people on the show. Like, I'm not trying to get a certain thing from them. And people are so conditioned to corporate media where you bring somebody on and it's for a purpose of getting something. And that's not how I roll. And maybe that's something because I'm new to this and maybe I need to start being that way. I don't know, man. Like, there should be a get. Like, why am I doing this? What do I want to hammer them with? Or not hammer them, but what do I want to produce? And all I really wanted from Donna Brazile, for instance, was for her to be on the show and to be able to ask her questions that my community sent me. My community sent me these questions, and I asked them. And I don't know what people expected her to do. Admit to something. And people are like, well, Jordan Sheridan, when he questioned her, he did a better job. I'm like, yeah, but she couldn't, you can't do that for an hour, though, dude. He talked to her for 3 minutes. And then she already was using those tactics of, you're a misogynist, you're this, you're that. And if that would have been me, she would have hung up so quick, it would have been pathetic. She would have just clicked up. It would have been over. There would have been nothing to get. It would have been over. It would have been no conversation. No one's going to talk to you for 45 minutes or an hour while you beat them up on, you ask them what time it is. You know it's 10 o'clock. You ask them, what time is it? And they say 6:30. You say 6:30? You think it's 6:30? They say, yeah, blah, 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 blah. You say, it's like, what else can you say? I'm going to go to the next call, man. I appreciate your question. I wish I had a better answer. I would like people to define neoliberalism. I define it as people who believe in sending jobs overseas. They believe in sending jobs overseas. They believe in deregulation. Neoliberalism, to me, is the opening of new markets. They see the world as all just everybody, and and people who pay into American system, who pay taxes, who help build this country. So what? I don't agree with that, right? I believe that my parents and my parents' parents and everybody that we suffered for a reason, man, and we should get something out of this country that we helped create. And that something shouldn't be the continuing of huge corporations to take and dominate our country. For the Amazons. You know, Jeff Bezos is about to buy Target. Do you know this? I don't. We got to put a stop. We got to put our feet in the ground and do a hard turn. All right, I'm going to go to the next call. 903. You're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Oh, hi, Mark.
Your name is Mark?
Hi, my name is no. My name is Denny.
Okay, Denny. You know, you're on the Tim Black Show, right?
Yes.
Okay, Denny, what's going on, my friend?
Yes, sir.
No problem.
So I've been watching your show for about a year now.
My man.
And I enjoy it very much. I think you're one of the best new progressive media that I've seen. Definitely up there with secular talk for me. Now, I've been watching your show, and I really wanted to get your opinion on this because it seems like you try to dodge the question whenever anyone asks you, and it kind of bothers me, and that's really the only thing that bothers me about your show.
What's your question?
So I wanted to get your opinion on this, all right? Do you like Space Jam?
Do I like who?
Space Jam. The movie Space Jam, where Michael Jordan fights alongside the Looney Tunes to defeat a horde of aliens.
Dude, I don't remember that movie. I remember the movie. I remember the content. No one's ever asked me about Space Jam, bro.
Well, it perturbs me that, you know, Barack Obama is some African-American friends of mine's idol, right? And we all know that Barack Obama, well, he did some good things. He also did some horrific things in the Middle East. And it bothers me that it's not Michael Jordan, because Michael Jordan, I mean, I heard he's a good basketball player. I don't really know. But, I mean, he saved the world from aliens.
Man, what's your question? What's this question that I've been dodging? I'm curious, man. I'm intrigued. What question have I been dodging, Denny?
Whether or not you like Space Jam. I feel like you're telling me that you haven't seen Space Jam, but I think you have seen Space Jam, and you just don't want to tell anyone that you really like it.
Man, I don't remember it, man. I'm old, bro.
Listen, man, Space Jam 2 is on its way. LeBron James is going to be in the second Space Jam. I can tell you that right now.
Denny, you are crazy, man.
It's not a conspiracy.
Hey, but you know I've been critical of Obama,
question.
right? Hey, Denny, you know I've been critical of Obama, right?
Yeah. Oh, I know that, sir.
Okay.
I have been critical
keep it
of
real.
Obama
Okay.
as well.
But that's
however,
funny.
you know, Michael Jordan to me seems like a more fitting idol.
Nah. No.
I mean, listen, look at Obama's legacy versus Michael Jordan's legacy.
Michael Jordan played basketball, man.
Think about it.
All right,
but
Denny.
He also played basketball against aliens.
Give it up for Denny, man. Look, man, thank you, Denny. I appreciate you. I got to go, but I appreciate Denny's humor, right? I didn't get it at first, man. It was really deadpan. It's like, what did I want to know what's this thing I've been avoiding, because, shit, I want to know because I don't intentionally avoid anything. I've asked these, you know, but Michael Jordan. I would say this real talk though. Michael Jordan is a guy just trying to make money, in my opinion, and that may be what Obama was trying to do as well. I think that's what a lot of people try to do. It's our system, right? Make as much money as possible. It's the hardest thing in the world is try to do both. I try to do both. I try to make enough money to grow the show. To actually be able to advertise or be able to support it or buy equipment or do stuff. But I also try to keep a moral compass, man. Somebody asked me yesterday, for instance, Denny, somebody asked me yesterday on Twitter, it's like, Tim, I don't really have much money to give to the show, but do you have an Amazon link? And I used to have an Amazon link, but I took it down. And I was like, man, I don't think I want to support Amazon, you know? And he was like, man, I appreciate you feeling that way, man. And it's like, it's not, and I know, like, I don't make that big a difference if people who are already going to buy items off of Amazon, if I got a small percentage of that. But I was like, damn, I don't know how I feel about that. So, like, I hadn't thought about it before, really. But now that I'm really up on Amazon and I'm up on how it's dominating and how it destroys small businesses and how it's like, how Jeff Bezos is getting out of hand. He's like everywhere, and what he's doing I don't think is good. I don't think we need centralized mega corporations, conglomerates controlling all our commerce. I don't think that. So, and also I heard that the treatment of workers in these big-time facilities, in these huge warehouses, it's not good. so when I hear all this stuff, I want to be ethical. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to just say the ends justify the means. There are some things that Michael Jordan did, and don't get me wrong, he ain't on the level of a bomb. As far as I know, Michael Jordan didn't drop bombs till he ran out of bombs. He may have dropped, threes till he ran out of threes, but he never dropped bombs until he ran out of bombs. So, yeah, and I know it was a joke. I know you don't mean it that way, but hell, man, no one's ever asked me what I thought about Michael Jordan. I think them shoes was too damn high. So that thing, and I think he had no control over the marketing of the shoes or even the pricing of the shoes, really. All right, I'm going to go on to 610 if you're still there. He's still here. Or they are still here. 610, you're live on Freedom Friday. How you doing?
Yes, I am. I am still here, Mr. Black, sir. This is Jenny Ray from Pennsylvania.
Jenny
I
Ray.
hope I'm coming through loud and clear.
Jenny Ray in the house. Happy New Year, Jenny. How you doing?
Happy New Year to you, too. If I sound a bit muffled, I'm actually really sorry. I've been sick in bed with the flu for like 3 days. But, of course, I have to listen to Freedom Friday.
You sound good, Jenny. What's on your mind tonight?
I'm getting better. First of all, before I go into my question, I want to actually commend you on your interview with Donna Brazil. It was actually really amazing. And thank you for asking her those tough questions that so many other corporate news stations would not do.
Wow. Thank you, Jenny. I appreciate you.
Sure. Thank you. My question for you tonight was actually, I wanted to ask what your thoughts were on that mysterious fire that broke out at the Clintons' Chappaqua residence 2 days ago. I know there's a lot of conspiracies going around. I'll believe it when I see it. But I was just kind of wondering, and if I missed anything you reported on it, I'm sorry. Again, I've been sick for a while. But I wanted to see what your opinions were on that.
I haven't really had the time. I haven't dug into that, actually. So I'm still the jury's still out as far as I'm concerned. What have you found out, and could you enlighten the audience to the situation?
Well, what I found out was that apparently the fire happened not at their main property, but it was at an adjacent property that was considered the Secret Service residence that they had bought a couple years after the main house. Also, apparently the Clintons weren't there at the time that it happened. So at this point, I'm hearing different sides, and I just don't know what to believe.
Wow.
But again, it's sometimes it's hard because you don't really know what our media is going to tell you or not. So some people are considering it that maybe somebody was burning evidence or destroying evidence because of the recent FBI things. But again, I'm reserving my opinions until I hear more.
Yeah. It's a good one, though. It's a good one. I don't know. I really don't.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, hey, look, Jenny,
thank you.
Yeah.
I was going to say thank you for your time. I appreciate that.
Oh, well, thank you, Jenny, for your time. I appreciate you. And maybe that's the story I need to cover, Jenny. Like, that's one of those stories that's handpicked for for people to kind of try to fill in the holes. But that would be a major screw up. I'm not going to say it's impossible. It would be a major screw up for them to be burning evidence, like literally burning evidence at the house. Like, why wouldn't they transport it out? I don't know. You know what I mean? But people do dumb stuff. I don't know. I don't know. 503 is in the house. 503, you're live on the Tim Black Show. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yo, Tim, what's going on, man? It's Vincent from California.
Vincent from Cali. What's up, Vince? How you doing, friend?
What's going on, man? Happy New Year's.
Same to you.
I got a few things that's kind of on my mind right now. Can't get to them all, but, like to squeeze in what I can. So the first thing that I'd like to talk about is the whole Paul brother thing. Just really quick. I know some people are going to be saying, like, oh, don't talk about it because they want that recognition. They did it to cause trouble, and, people use that argument, but I think of it more as we can't keep having this kind of bullshit be kept up on YouTube because it really shows, like, the favoritism that YouTube has toward, these bigger YouTube personalities. And it's just, we can't keep having that kind of bullshit happen, because how I see it, they're kind of like the equivalent of like the rich, like the elite top of the top on YouTube, while there's people, like you, a political commentator, even other like gamer YouTubers or vloggers, they're all kind of like lower on the spectrum. But I've been seeing a lot of people reaching out to YouTube saying, hey, you got to ban their account, you got to do this, and you got to do that, but they're not doing anything from what I see so far. So look, I just got to say, keep putting pressure on YouTube, because we can't keep having this slap on the wrist bullshit for these elite, YouTubers and stuff. I think it's unacceptable. So that's just something real quick I want to bring up. The second thing I'd like to talk about is, I guess it's kind of politically related. It's more related to police brutality, because, and actually this kind of relates to you, Tim, because of the show that you do, and you tend to live stream. Granted, you're not a gamer, so you don't really have to worry about it, but there are trolls in this world. So I'm not sure if you've seen this, but recently there was a 28-year-old man and father who was killed in Kansas, Wichita, because of a swatting incident. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, and if you don't know, Tim, it's basically this quote-unquote prank that sometimes viewers pull on live streamers, where they call in cops and they have like a false call saying that there's like a hostage situation, a real issue, and they lie, and the police go in to basically raid your house to see a response. So that happened in Kansas, and what came of that swatting prank was that that man was killed. And I'd just like to let everyone know, including you, Tim, just be safe and bring awareness to this issue, because as someone who's a gamer, and also every once in a while I do some live stream stuff too. Right. Granted, I'm not big, so I don't have to worry about it as much. It's just one of those issues where it's like it can be life-threatening, and that's something that needs to be brought up. So thank you, Tim. I hope you're going to have a great year. Hope you had happy holidays, and it was nice talking to you, man. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend, and I appreciate the comment, and I appreciate the story that you highlighted. I do. And, I am aware of that story. It happened in Wichita, Kansas. The young man, 28, as you described, I think his last name is Finch. His mother, Lisa Finch, has opened up a lawsuit. They want to get the officer, as well as the young man who initiated the prank. They want the officer who shot their son and killed him. They want him charged. So yes, and you're absolutely right, man. This is people with too much time on their hands. This is people just looking to cause drama. I mean, come on, man. There's ways to prank people. When I was a kid, we pranked people. Don't get me wrong. I played on the phone. You call somebody up, say, hey, you stink. Where's that $20 you owe me? Nah, man, stop playing. Where the $20 you owe me? Or whatever. I don't know what you do, but I've heard stuff like people ordering pizzas and sending them to people's houses, like crazy stuff. Man, but this is not funny. Someone lost their life. And this person who called in this particular prank, in this particular incident, he has been doing this for a while. There's a number of people he's done this swatting to, all right? And it's just stupid. And we're not talking about 12-year-olds, like that was like 12 and 13 when I was playing around with my friends. This guy is in his 20s. Come on, man. Now you get to be in jail for 20 because you thought you was funny. And now somebody lost their life. Over what? Talking crap while playing a video game? Come on, man. Come on. And the bad thing about it is, he meant to make the call, but he didn't mean for the guy to get killed. Right? But this is what happens. Things happen that you don't intend to happen when you do dumb shit. So anyway, I'm going to go to the next call. Thank you, Vincent, for the phone call, man. I appreciate it. 480. You're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Holy crap, my homie Tim Black.
What's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, man? So My name is Mauricio. It's the first time caller. I'm calling you from Phoenix, Arizona. It's not snowing over here at all. I'm walking around in shorts. But anyways, I've been listening to you forever, for about 2 years, ever since pre-election times. And I never wanted to call until I had something good to share, because I just felt like everything was way too negative, right? So I've been having an idea. I listen to a lot of Max Kaiser. Do you know who he is?
Max Kaiser. No, I don't.
He's on RT. He hosts a show on RT. He's an economist on RT who hosts a show pretty much like 3 times a week. And he had a theorist the other day who's a money management theorist. And he put out a question in the show with Max Kaiser and his wife Stacy on RT, where he says, he asked them, what is the thing that society all around the world needs the most? What is the most in-demand thing? And his answer was money, right? The most in-demand thing in the world is money. And so I've been playing with this idea for about a month of, like, how do you provide people with an answer to money? And I don't even know why I'm calling you about this, but I think I came up with an idea of how people can essentially all become stock owners and gain benefit from owning property in America, because everybody believes in property in America, and be able to use extra income money to pay off their property as they become property owners. I'm in real estate, but people don't like to hear that type of stuff. But I've just been playing around with ideas, and I would like to see if you'd be open to brainstorming with me about how we can bring about something, because I feel like you're not a sellout and you have genuine thoughts, and I feel like as do I. But yeah, do you agree that the most in-demand thing in the world is money for people?
Absolutely, Marcio. I mean,
and
yeah.
If and real estate, if you buy a property, is the most expensive thing that somebody would ever purchase in their life, and it also means that you have a stake in your society. And you have a stake, and if you have a stake in your society, you can, let's just say it goes along that route. And it's something that I'm already working on, first steps, but I kind of need some social proof. And like I said, I feel like you're a genuine person and not a sellout. Can I give a little bit of quick background, not even like 30 seconds?
Yeah, you still got time. Go ahead, brother.
Okay, cool. So if I have an accent, I'm originally from Mexico. Moved back and forth between the United States and here. My dad is American, my mom is Mexican. So I've been able to experience both sides, or just, feel like if I'm in Mexico, I feel like I'm not part of society. If I'm here, I feel like I'm not part of society because I look a little bit different, right? Especially in Arizona, you stand out. So with that being said, when I was younger, I'm 26. When I was younger, during the time of Occupy Wall Street, I'm a political science major. I just, was enthralled into that whole, let's just say I spent weeks out protesting during Occupy Wall Street here in Phoenix, and I feel like I was used as a pawn, pretty much, right? I feel like a lot of us were, because nothing changed. There was no message. So I'm trying to bring a message. But after that, I was like, what do I do? So I decided to join the military, and it's just kind of strange because I just wanted to be able to, I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going with this, but I feel like I've had a lot of experiences. And now with a business tool that we can use to empower people, because everybody's a property owner, and let's just say everybody can become organized and actually use a corporate ladder for their own property. But yeah, can I get with you on Twitter and share some information? I have a presentation.
Okay, well, the best thing to do, I think, you can send it to me on Twitter. I would suggest emailing it to me at tim@timblacktv.com. But Twitter works too, Yeah, either one, man. Either Twitter or email me, tim@timblacktv.com. And I'll remember your name, Mauricio.
Mauricio, yeah.
Mauricio.
Sometimes I comment on your stream, and that's pretty much it. I just like to think big, and I only wanted to call you with an actual good idea. And like I said, I just need social proof. I haven't really shared it with anybody. But yeah.
All right, man. Well,
So-
let's send it to me and we'll
There you
talk,
go.
man. We'll talk, my brother. Thank you for the phone
Cool, man.
call.
Thank you.
You got it, brother. Happy New Year to you once again. I got to keep it moving. 704. You're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is Bruce from Carolina.
Bruce from Carolina. What's up, Bruce? How you doing, brother?
Doing good. Well, not kind. Yeah. I was listening in on earlier, and I heard that one caller mentioned about the swatter, and there's a lot of things wrong with that. I mean, that guy, he actually called in a couple of internet shows and even talked about it. It really seemed like he had any remorse. Unfortunately, he's not actually. He's done more than a lot of stuff than this. But I thought about it for a second, and it's like when you look at what happened there in that whole situation, it's like how lucky have a lot of people been? Because a lot of times, depending on the situation in the area, cops just come in and they're just smiling. They see anything that looks like a threat, and they're just going to shoot first and ask later because there's no repercussions. We know that. You have a better chance of catching lightning in a bottle, literally, than seeing a cop go to jail for anything. So if hackers are able to understand that and then use them basically as a hammer to a nail for any individual they don't like on the internet, now you have a situation where now you have people manipulating, the
90 seconds
situation that we have here in our country to basically put hits on people. Because we know that, any moment a cop can just say, well, I felt threatened. Well, then they just drop the case right there, no matter what happened or whatever's going on. Because, those cops aren't going to get in trouble. Yeah, when they, because even though he didn't have a weapon, you listen to the interview they had with the police chief, and he did everything basically he could to help protect his guy. He's like, well, he kept
60 seconds.
So, so did he have a gun? No, but when he reaches for the waist, that means maybe he was literally not expecting someone to bust into his house, so he didn't have, pants on that may have been slipping down. So instead of having his pants fall down with his balls showing, maybe he kept trying to hold them up, and then your cop thought he was reaching for something. Could that possibly be a situation? But he was reaching, so it was just, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Stuff like that. And it's very scary because with that type of dynamic, that can happen in any situation where when you go into like an area where it's not like suburban or affluent. Because if this was, Hollywood, if this was like the OC, if this was like a night like in Potomac, do you think they're gonna go
10
in there and
seconds
blazing or like, oh, don't do that? Boom, boom. There's people there with power and influence. This wouldn't have happened.
Right.
But that's another thing. I have a question, Tim, and I want to get your thoughts on this. What is your thoughts? Before I actually go there, I want to bring up something. I have a friend from high school that I've known for a long time. Very successful guy. He got his business being MA or something, the degree you become a business manager or whatever. And he called me and he told me he has been doing going to the psychiatrist because he's been feeling certain ways mentally, and he's not been able to figure it out since high school. We both grew up in Baltimore together. He told me that his psychiatrist believes that he's suffering from PTSD. Interesting thing is he's never spent a day in the military. But here's the thing. He grew up on Park Heights, and he had a lot of friends that were murdered. And he'd actually seen a couple of his friends murdered in front of him. He told me this whole story where one time he was just literally hanging out on his step, and like some dude came by, boom, shot his friend, and like you can see the brains, and he was like dead before he hit the ground, and it was just like, and that stuff sticks with you. And I thought to myself, when you're in an area where there's very high poverty, where there's no jobs, there's no real decent education situation like they have right now, where they had to close the schools because they didn't have proper heating in Baltimore.
Yep.
And I saw they actually had to, kids were actually having to come into school with coats and extra layers of clothes just to learn. And then there was a news article that I saw in the Baltimore Sun kind of referencing, PTSD with young children, not because of anything military related, but because of what they see on an average day basis. Because when you don't have any money and you have poverty, that forces people to do things that they are not necessarily proud of, and that also means violence and murder. And when you see that and you are accustomed to that, and then you have a society where the police are not that much better when they're treating, people of color with no money, what does that do to the psyche of an individual? How does that alter their ability to handle reality? Do they, are they able to overcome that, or is that something that becomes insurmountable mentally? So what are your thoughts about how the correlation of things like PTSD and other mental disorders could,
Brother Bruce, what's up, man? What the hell happened? Your episode is ended. We're processing the audio now. Will be available on the Blog Talk Radio profile in a few minutes. God. That's rude as hell. I guess the phone lines are out, guys. That is crazy. This is early, isn't it? Isn't this early? I don't know what they did. Okay, so Bruce, let me see if I can. Let me try to address this question. I don't know a lot about PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. I do know, though, for a fact that it can affect many people, regardless if they've had, if they've been engaged in military activity, if they've been in war situations. Like an abused woman could suffer from PTSD. Okay, I know for a fact that abused children can suffer from PTSD. All it takes is a traumatic event that could give you, I don't know, feelings of helplessness, fear, what they call foreboding. All these, it's another word for it, but yeah. So yes, I agree that this could happen. That you could develop post-traumatic stress disorder. In fact, if you live in a climate where people can get shot, anybody can get shot, and it happens, and you're losing friends. Yes, you can suffer from PTSD. In fact, there are a lot of mental conditions that go undiagnosed and untreated in poor communities. All the time. I believe that. And you're right. And I covered the Baltimore heating situation. And there are people who just, I think we have a lack of information being shared. And part of the reason why information is not being shared is that the information is often presented in the most boring way imaginable, in the most boring context. I think you have to make things interesting, and you have to make them engaging so people want to learn this stuff, so people know what's going on. And sometimes you can't just do it with a couple talking heads sitting on TV using huge words that turn people off, that make them feel stupid, and it's not down to the level, down to earth, so that people relate to it. I try to do that here. I think that we just need to communicate better. What's going on in this country, what's going on in communities all around us, and why people do the things they do. Poverty is an issue. Poverty, unemployment, lack of education, these are big issues. What if your outlook on life was, I remember when I was 16, I thought I'd never be 20. Now, if you didn't grow up that way, then you don't even know what I'm talking about. We really have no call or reference on what our early years were like. Whether you white, black, Latino, Asian, if you grew up and you didn't think, if you never crossed your mind, I don't think I'm gonna live to be 20 years old due to being killed. Not due to I'm going to develop a sickness, due to being killed. That's the way I looked at life. If you never felt that way, then you can't wag your finger at other people because you really don't have any idea. And I have grown adults who never consider where other people come from. And they make these comments and these statements, and it really pisses me off because you don't understand poor people. You don't understand where these people come from, the environments that they live in, what their parents dealt with. If you think I dealt with stuff, what do you think my parents dealt with? My parents lived under segregation and Jim Crow. And what do you think they dealt with? And what kind of parenting skills did they gather? What kind of stress did they go through? And then they're raising kids. And this is America. This was the country. So these people, they don't get it, and they say it's class. You know, there is no sign saying poor people can't come in the store. There's no sign saying, there's on the job application, no one says, how much money did your father make? But if your name sound black, so we can have these conversations. I guess you can have a poor sounding name. I don't know. But you better not have a black sounding name. I know that shit. So anyway. It's all good though, man. We just need to educate people, man. People need to be open to being educated. They need to become open to being informed. That's what I think is missing. Lord have mercy. I appreciate you guys. I really do, man. I'm glad to get the show back on the road. That's why I was like, you know what? It's been a rough week. We're trying to get back in. School's been shut down for the last 2 days. Everything's crazy. Man, if you got an extra coat, if you got an extra jacket, a coat, gloves, something that you don't wear, take that shit directly down to the nearest homeless shelter, the nearest Salvation Army, something. Give, man. Give. All right? It'll make you feel great. It'll make somebody feel warm. Do it. Do it. And if you have a nice vehicle that has heat, if you don't feel like going to Salvation Army because you don't trust them, fine. Take those articles and drive downtown or drive where you know homeless people are. Drive around, look for homeless people, and you stop your car and you say, hey, I got a coat. You want it? I think it'll fit you. And give it to them. All right? Do something. This shit is horrible what's going on. People are becoming homeless at a rate that's unconscionable. It's been unconscionable, but I want you to know this is a problem. It's an issue. We can all address it. Look, we don't have to wait for Christmas to come and somebody be stopping you outside of a store. Go do it now. Do it because it's the right thing to do. It don't have to be any certain time of year. I'm saying it because it's so frigid outside. It's chilly in this basement, but it's nothing compared to what it is outside. All right, guys. Now, you know, this show isn't brought to you by the DNC. It's not brought to you by the GOP or any other organization. It's brought to you by people who just enjoy the content, people who care about the message, people who believe that we got the best interests of the community in this country, in the world, in mind when we do content, okay? We try to have a good time, but we try to have a theme that helps the country. So, helps people. It's what we need to focus on. So I appreciate you for tuning in. I thank you for contributing to the show. If you want to be a contributor to the show, go to patreon.com, Tim's Take Live. I need you to do that. Why? Because we would like to get bigger. We would like to reach more people. We like to do more cool stuff. We'd like to upgrade things. And we like to keep going. So thank you so much, guys, for being here. Have a happy New Year. This is the first Friday of the new year. It's 2018. What you going to do with your 2018? What I'm going to do with my 2018, I'm going to go bigger. I'm going to go better. I'm going to grow. I've already launched a new show called Black Word Today, and some people like it. And if you have not heard my Black Word Today or seen my show, I tell you, it focuses on issues that impact the black community. I think it's important that I be a voice in that arena to go along with Coffee with Tim Black and to go along with the Tim Black at Night show and to go along with No Sellouts. I'm up for the challenge because I believe you can't sit back saying, oh man, they don't let us speak. They don't give us a platform. Well, I built the platform. It took me 5 years to build it and I'm still building it. And one thing I can't control a lot of things, but I can control how hard I work. So I want you to find somebody who works harder than me. Find them and then point them out to me because I like to see them. I'm talking about in media. Point somebody out that works harder than me. They got people that work all that stuff. Momo Pineno is doing graphics for me. He's helping me with videos, editing some videos. But this is a passion to be a voice, and I'm going to keep on going. So, Black World Today, I'm going to end with that video, and I just want to say, guys, thank you again so much for being here tonight. All my callers were great. All my callers, all my people on Facebook, all my people on Periscope and YouTube, you guys keep me going. You keep me ushering in new ideas. I'm up writing. I got a lot to do, and I tell you, man, I'm excited about the new year. I hope you are too. And with that, let's move on to this. See, no one has balls. No one has the balls to say the real deal.
Black Word Today.
Yes, y'all is the one and only. Get up.
Hello, everybody.
Tim Black. Tim Black. Tim Black. Yes, I am. True. Funny. Tim Black. I am TimBlack.com. Tim Black.